espresso. If you
Okay.
need coffee, water, soft drink, you can grab it from there.
Okay.
On the left, we have the sugar store. You can browse around as well as we're waiting for the
Morning.
Morning.
It's getting cold.
Yeah, it is.
Where you from, sir?
Colorado, America.
America.
Yeah.
Welcome to Soweto.
Yeah, thank you.
So, sister, put them down. Izo. So, welcome to Soweto. Welcome to Orlando. My name is Mulalo from One Day Africa, and I will be your tour guide for the next 2.5 hours. So, welcome to the most popular township in the country. The name Soweto is an acronym or an abbreviation for the word Southwest Township. So the township originally was founded as a result of the discovery of gold in the city center of Johannesburg in a farm that was known as the farm of Langlaagte. As a result of gold discovery, we had a movement called the Gold Rush, which largely led to people coming down in search of opportunities and riches, leading to the area where gold was discovered, having an outbreak of a disease known as the bubonic plague. So the plague So the outbreak of the disease led to the government significantly placing a blame on non-whites, saying that we were the actual people behind the spread of the disease. So in 1903, they then moved all non-white communities to the southwest of Joburg, moving them under forced removal in the farm of Pixfields, where the outbreak took place in 1900. So as a result, that is when this area was then founded in the year 1903. The first community that is established is very close to where I'm from, Triptown. Triptown is the actual oldest environment in the community, dating back to the late 1800s, 1897. Originally a farm housing white, black, Asian and colored communities. I know in the States the term colored is pretty much offensive, but in Southern Africa the term refers to mixed race people. So it's pretty much the actual word that is recommended to use to recognize the mixed people. So colored doesn't basically refer to us, you, since we're black, so it refers to a child that is born to a family of a white father or maybe a white mother and a black mother or father. So a typical example of a colored individual would be the popular comedian Trevor Noah. So he represents the colored community. So in 1903, when Klipspruit was founded, it was named according to the 5th of June. We had a protest recognized as the Soweto uprising. The protest took place from the central part of Soweto in a school that is known as Maleli High. The plan of the protest was to go to different high schools, gathering high school students destined for the stadium with the McDonald's sign, where they would submit a memorandum to the mayor. But unfortunately, when the students reached about 500 meters from here, they encountered a confrontation. They were told that the protest is illegal. There was a huge community of students on the day. Over 15 to 20,000 were estimated to participate on the protest. And as they were confronted by police, the police realized they couldn't control the situation. They would eventually draw a line in the street, preventing the students from continuing, saying that if any crosses, they would suffer the consequences. While waiting for backup, they gave the students 15 minutes to vacate or move away from the space. That resulted in students starting to sing songs of liberation, to an extent where they would sing a song that was banned from the country, which is today our national anthem. It's called Nkosi Sikelel' Africa, meaning God bless Africa. And when the song was sang, it angered the police. They would eventually release dogs as means of moving away the kids. But that would also result in kids resisting and fighting back, picking up stones and stoning obviously the dogs. As they were fighting, police would release canned gases, which would lead to a majority of students running our direction, joining this road as an alternative to reach the actual destination, the stadium. But just a kilometer or a few miles from here, they would encounter a second confrontation. And at the second confrontation, police would eventually begin opening fire at students using live ammunition. On the day we had a loss of 23 kids that were killed, hundreds that were hospitalized, hundreds that became arrested. Towards that direction, we have a picture that was taken by a local independent journalist. Can you see the picture?
Yeah.
The picture was taken by a local independent journalist by the name Sam Zimmer. Sam knew publishing would get him into trouble. He sold the picture to a local independent newspaper that would distribute the picture locally, leading to a period of 4 months of unrest in the country. In that period of 4 months, more kids were killed. An estimated number of 600 to 700 lost their lives nationwide. Over 15,000 had to leave the country for neighboring countries for exile camps. In the picture, the 3 students are identified as Hector Pieterson, the young boy that is held, the gentleman holding him, 18 years of age, Mbuyisa Makubu, and Mom Antoinette Sitole today, but she was referred to as Antoinette Pieterson, the 15-year-old lady next to the gentleman holding the boy. So the boy became a victim of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was not a protester. He had gone to the protest to recover a key from his sister, or wait for his sister, whom they accompanied each other home. And she was in high school, so I generally share that the parents probably said that she would be more responsible and the age gap. This line refers to the firing line that was drawn by the police. It points us to where the confrontation took place, and in the other direction it points us to the door of the monument. Then the pavement that we generally share, it's basically a symbol of a new democracy and old South Africa. So the old bricks say that is our party to achieve. The new bricks, this is the democratic South Africa. It says forgive but don't forget. Then the trees are recognized as African wild olive trees, a symbol of peace. They are told that they are green on their door. Then there are messages. The first that tree by the father of the first victim, Hastings Ndlovu, the father Elliot Ndlovu left a message. The second message, Mama Makubu, on that memorial stone, and that short picture which you will get, it's the same message left by the mother of Mbuyisa Makubu holding the boy in the picture. Next to the picture there is a fountain of water that represents tears of families and the bloodshed. Then, like I said, the trees are African wild olive trees, a symbol of peace. Then there is a stone next to the picture that is unveiled by Nelson Mandela in 92, sentenced 76. He was in prison serving a very long prison sentence. So the stone is pretty much a memorial stone, but the rest of the monument is built in 2002. So I'd like to give you at least 5 minutes before on the monument.
So we distinguish people by the name of the workers. So they distributed the pictures all across the country. Into other communities in South Africa, they started to go and launch some of these
Thank you.
Now we have to change the whole situation, but the guys they are vandalizing. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's crazy. Thanks, man.
Nature meets, or the ocean meets the mountains. So it's pretty much nice environment.
Yeah, they say it's the most beautifulest place in the world.
It's like very organized. Foreigners by white.
Yeah,
There's a
okay.
lot of white people there. You'll be seeing a very completely different.
Seems like it's a lot of white people all over Africa.
Yeah, but Cape Town I think has
Has more? Yeah, okay.
Biggest white, not white Africans, the colonizer, but white Europeans.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the first stop then will be the Nelson Mandela House. Nelson Mandela's community is very interesting. So when you get to that street, you'll be seeing a lot of people out and about. Some people selling street food, some people selling souvenirs, some people performing cultural, traditional dance and all that. This is our office, One Day Africa.
Okay.
So yeah, man, if you are interested in some local souvenirs, I recommend local brands. So the cap that I'm wearing is Thesis. You probably noticed one of my colleagues is also wearing the same cap. So Thesis is one of the biggest local brands. Then just around the corner we have another local brand called Tozintle. So Tozintle is pretty much a female outlet, but they also have some male t-shirts. So yeah, for such visits, it's optional. It's up to you, okay? So no pressure. But if you're interested in visiting some of our local brands, then it is born in 1981 in Claxton, in the northwest of South Africa. I tell anyone who just wants to train to be a teacher, when he began his teaching career in 1955 in Claxton, then in 1956 he came down. So in 1954, sorry, he began his teaching career. In 1955 he moved into Soweto. That is where he began teaching at Isaac Morrison High. In the late 1950s, early 1960s, he retired from teaching, joined the Anglican Church, but it gave him an opportunity to go study in England at the King's College in Cambridge University, where he studied theology. While studying there, he got an opportunity to expose what was happening in the country to the world, giving him international recognition as a human rights activist and an anti-apartheid activist. After completing his studies, he came back as a religious activist, a very influential activist against the oppression, one that strategically used religion as means of fighting against the oppression. Some of the most easily startable businesses with a lot of return as an entrepreneur locally, really would invest in either street food, funeral businesses, insurance, but we also find a huge informal business field on the side of the road as we move around the township. We see people hairdressing, tailoring, people selling street food, fruits and veggies. People pretty much selling anything that is basically their joint properties, and it's very much difficult for the people living here to then renovate since the roofing is asbestos and the houses are largely joint. So yeah, this is Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, like I said, meaning white house.
Zimbabwe is
In Zimbabwe. So as you can see, this is the original, but they were all painted white. And the form of roofing, like I said, is very hazardous. It leads to a lot of cancer-related sicknesses, your asbestos, and so forth. The lung cancer, prostate cancer, and many. So since the houses are joined and we are very much a very communal society, people generally take consideration of our in the country. Then our school kids would be largely working in uniform. That is largely influenced by the school uniform is influenced by the British colonizer of this country. Then if you look far ahead on the right, there is a mountain. So that mountain is evidence of mining that erupted about 2 kilometers from where the mountain is located. That is called a mining dam or a man-made mountain or mining waste. So they're not natural. They are basically man-made mountains. These mountains were strategically implemented to separate the township from the city. So like I said, they're recognized as mining dam. Unemployment is quite a significant disadvantage for the Republic of South Africa. We are currently sitting at 32% as a nation, 32.3%, and the youth is sitting at 64%. Over half the youth of the nation is largely unemployed. So a lot of people, that is why they will start small. And she's one of the first women to join the liberation activism against the party. She also joined the ANC, the African National Congress, and decided to establish a women's league as means of wanting to attract more women to participate in the fight against oppression. In 1956, on the 9th of August, she managed to gather thousands of women that became actively involved in the Women's March, which had over 20,000 participants from the city of Joburg to another city in Pretoria on a protest for the past laws to be abolished. That was a success, but it unfortunately led to her in 1962 being arrested, where she spent 18 years under house arrest, living with a mother and 2 daughters. As a breadwinner, she would use the tailoring skills as means of income. She died in 1980 on the 12th of March. The house pretty much is a private residence, but it also has a symbol of heritage, like the people house that recognizes Mam Lillian Masidibu Matabane Ngui. So her daughter and her grandkids lived in the house till date. So if we look, I guess we can continue. So whenever we maybe have a stop like this and you'd like to step out, maybe take a picture or whatsoever, you are welcome, sir.
okay.
A house of a very popular supporter of the big football team from the other side, Orlando Pirates. They call them 5 Skippers. The home stadium of the biggest football team in Southern Africa, Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates founded in 1937, the stadium built in 1949, the destination of the students in 1976. It was renovated for the 2010 World Cup, but no official World Cup games were played at the actual stadium. That area on the right represents pretty much household. Pretty much before the garbage collector gets there, they pretty much will then collect these recyclable items, then they will use it as means of income. So like I said, this is the home of Orlando Pirates, the biggest football team in Southern Africa. that were founded in the Township, Soweto. So we have the number 1 stadium, the number 1 high school across the street. We find across the street, we find house number 1. Opposite direction, the first post office, the first library, the first police station and clinic. So if you'd like to step out, we never stop, and we can step out and maybe take a few pictures.
Okay, that's fine.
Would you like us to stop?
Yeah.
Like I said, when you reach 46, that's where you find So this is our local form of transportation. These are recognized as minivan taxis, the most affordable form of transportation on the road. So they are 5 times cheaper than a regular Uber. So they are the most affordable. They are rooted and hand signs to basically stop this. So as you drive in the country, you'll always see people on the side of the road doing hand signs. So they would likely be mostly stopping, trying to stop this form of transportation.
Vegetarian though.
Oh man. Oh, you're vegetarian?
Yeah,
So this is the local branch. Like this to stop, just like to get myself a jersey. At the local branch.
Oh, you said the local brand?
Yeah, so I'd like to just grab myself a jersey.
Okay, yeah, let's check it out.
Check it out as well. EC's Lifestyle. EC's being the oldest brand from Soweto that is quite big today. Dating back to 2005. So the brand says define yourself, and it pretty much defines us as local Sowetans to the world. So as local people, this is one of the biggest brands we love and appreciate as a people. It defines us as Sowetans when we're out and about in other communities. So it's pretty much the Jordan of Soweto. Named after the space being quite hilly, so they say it's a deep hill. Are you planning to take a rental car or everything will be just an Uber?
Uber, yeah.
where they are all destined. These gents looking at bags. Yeah, how are you? Largely allowed to visit the museum, the open air museum, which is currently under renovation. But the community as well was benefited by a market that was initially established to give those that are graduates. So the businesses on the left were once upon a time the economic hub of Soweto. Businesses here dates back to the late 1800s, early 1900s, largely ran by the Asians, the Indians, the Chinese. So they were given the right of continuing their businesses but not to live within the community. So till date, the businesses are still run by the Indians, the Chinese, but unfortunately they can't live within the community. During apartheid, today many have chosen not to come back into the community like Cape Town.
Soweto Township burger.
The name Kota is spelled K-O-T-A. So it's taken from the mathematical concept of a quarter of something. A quarter of bread that pretty much has a few mines, which is a regular, will have meat. But since you're vegetarian, it only has egg and cheese. Then there's a secret ingredient under called mega pico. So yeah, it's a very